All right, hi folks. This video is going to be probably not the only video that we'll see on the Folio. I wanted to go ahead and get the Folio into everyone's consciousness, as it were. We're right at midterm, so this is a good time to really start beginning to put this together. You've amassed a little bit of writing at this point. You've got one complete project. And you're beginning another. Now, if you did a Folio last semester, you can actually include stuff from last semester. You can also include material from other courses, provided that they fall into these particular designations that I'm going to discuss here. It says 3 projects. We're only completing 3 projects in 1302. So if you didn't have a Folio from last semester, obviously you can use the 3 projects that we're doing. If there's a particular project that you're proud of that involves a good bit of writing, etc., from another course, either this semester or last semester, or during your time in college, you can include that. If it falls under these designations. So, in brief, the purpose behind the digital folio is to curate your work. When we talk about curate, what I mean is, like in a museum has a curator, as a person who very carefully chooses the pieces that the museum is going to display. Just chooses the way in which the pieces are displayed, the order, and so on and so forth, the positioning and everything, to present a certain statement, right? To frame a certain point of view, right? So that's what you're doing with your work, is you are very carefully arranging it to essentially tell the story of your work, tell the story of your journey as a writer up to and including 1302, right? This term. So minimally, right, your folio should include a homepage that it introduces yourself and your folio to your audience. There's a number of ways to do this. We'll talk about it as we move through. Again, this may in fact just be the first video in a series. In fact, as I'm moving through this, we're probably already into the second minute and 30 seconds here. So probably to break this down, I'll do more than one video. But so then, this could be on your homepage as well, and you'll see all that as we actually move to the Folio system. Again, maybe not in this particular video, but as I put that out there. Okay, but an author's introduction, actually this would not, I apologize, the author's introductions would not be on the home pages. They would be on the pages that contain the pieces that you're including. So why an author's introduction for each piece? What's the purpose behind that? The purpose behind that is curation, right? You want your viewer or your readers, etc., to know what you're thinking about when you place a piece in a particular category, how you are envisioning that piece, envisioning the importance of that piece, the significance of that piece, etc. It's like when you go into a museum or an art show, and the artist may have provided like a little plaque or something, or even in some cases, you put on headphones and listen to an explanation of the work, etc. It's to give it context. So the author's introduction, the purpose there is to give it context. Now, in terms of context, right, we're looking at analytical writing, researched writing, and reflective writing, okay? And you've already done just a tremendous amount of reflective writing, right? So that one's already taken care of. You've already done, right now you're working on researched writing, okay? That's with your report. You can also make the argument that, and also your annotated bibliography is certainly research writing, right? You can also make the argument that your report is analytical writing, because you're having to analyze the sources into synthesize and so on and so forth, right? But this is just running through here real quick. That's bare minimally what the folio is asking you to do. Okay. So when you look at this, and a lot of this, I would imagine, as you're opening up this document and listening to this video, your a lot of this just seems rather foreign to you at this point, and that is 100% understandable, right? It's okay. Just keep in mind that your main things to consider here is the homepage with the author's introduction, right? That's this bullet point right here. Well, now it's gonna do all kinds of weirdness here, but it's trying to highlight it for us, but it's not. Okay, yeah, homepage with author's introduction, right? So in this, you can tell tell your story as a writer. You know who, and it doesn't have to be a voluminous thing, right? It can be a couple of pages worth of text, right? It doesn't have to be just incredible, but you can talk about what you feel defines yourself as a writer, right? You can talk about in brief, the strides that you feel that you've made up to and including this moment in time in your college writing journey, right? You can talk about all of these things. Now, again, and I'll show you how to set all this up when we actually look at the Folio system and give you some hints and tips on that, right? Incidentally, okay, let me back up. Incidentally, this can actually be a video, okay? You can actually you can do your author's introduction as a video. That's perfectly fine, okay? And because you can upload videos into your Folio. There's a whole methodology for that. You can do these little author's introductions as videos if you want to, right? You could have your essay and then have a video off to the side that introduces the piece and frames it, okay? Frames that as analytical, researched, reflective, or some combination thereof, right? Okay? That is basically it, okay? I always tell students, I don't expect you to do something that I cannot do, right? That would make me the pinnacle of hypocrite, right? I mean, I'm a hypocrite in many aspects of my life, as many of us are, but I don't want to be that kind of hypocrite. In other words, I don't want to be that kind of asshole, right? I am not going to expect you to, make something earth-shattering if I cannot do it myself. Now, having said that, if you can blow me away with what you do with this folio, by all means do so, right? By all means do so, and I look forward to that. I have been blown away by student folios, and I'm always impressed. But in the interest of brevity, I'm going to end this particular video. But understand, the folio. If you're familiar with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, on the cover of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is written in very large letters, "Don't panic." Right. So the the mantra, if you will, the sound bite, if you will, for the folio at midterm, right, is don't panic. Okay. Honestly, if you, between now and the end of the term, if you spend, say, I don't know, hour and a half a week, give or take, on the folio, you'll be fine. I don't even know that it's going to require that much time. Well, I will say the more comfortable you are with technology, obviously, the better. But there's new functionality with it now that will allow you to do it on your cell phone. You didn't used to be able to do that. The new functionality now allows for that, and so on. And we'll look at all this functionality, or at least some of it. And better yet, I'm going to show you where you can look stuff up for yourself and really become conversant in how to get around in the folio and do stuff in the folio, right? I'm gonna introduce you to that in my next video on this subject. So let me put it this way. I don't expect it to take as much time or energy, say, as the annotated bibliography did. Okay? For a lot of you. But at the same time, the return that you get on this is going to be potentially really nice, because it's going to showcase really what you've done and how far you've come, or how far you will have come by the end of the term. So it's something for you to look forward to. Okay. All right. And again, in the interest of brevity, and I know that's ironic, but I am now going to sign off on this particular video. All right. Thank you so much.